All right, this song was written in 1898 by George Giefer. It is Who Threw the Overalls in Mrs. Murphy's Chowder. Better get this out of the way first. Mrs. Murphy gave a party just about a week ago. Everything was plentiful, the Murphys, they're not slow. They treated us like gentlemen, we tried to act the same. Only for what happened next, it was an awful shame. Mrs. Murphy dished the chowder out and fainted on the spot. She'd found a pair of overalls at the bottom of the pot. Tim Nolan, he got rippin' mad, his eyes were bulging out. He jumped up on the piano and loudly he did shout, "Who threw the overalls in Mrs. Murphy's chowder?" No one spoke a word, so they shouted all the louder, "It's an Irish trick, it's true, and I'll lick them, nick the true. The overalls in Mrs. Murphy's chowder." They dragged the pants out of the soup and laid them on the floor. Each man swore upon his life he'd ne'er seen them before. They're plastered up with mortar and worn out at the knees. They'd had their many ups and downs, as we could plainly see. And when Mrs. Murphy, she came to, she began to cry and pout. She'd had them in the wash that day and forgot to take them out. Tim Nolan, he excused himself for what he'd said that night. But we put music to the words and sang with all our might. Who threw the overalls in Mrs. Murphy's chowder? No one spoke a word, so we shouted all the louder, "It's an Irish trick, that's true, and I'll lick them, nick the true. The overalls in Mrs. Murphy's chowder." Ha! Who threw the overalls in Mrs. Murphy's chowder? No one spoke a word, so they shouted all the louder, "It's an Irish trick, that's true, and I'll lick them, nick the true. The overalls in Mrs. Murphy's chowder."